It is 10:22. The Thursday this is supposed to come out because I did not have time to film this video sometime this week because I've been very busy. Why? Because I've been trying to fill out paperwork to drop out of school. Because that took so much more time than I thought that it would. But I finally done it. I'm officially a college dropout. Technically, I am just going to a different school, but none of my credits are transferring. So technically I just dropped out and I'm just going somewhere else. So it's like this school never happened, but I did in fact drop out. After talking to one of my coworkers who was still in high school and giving a lot of unsolicited advice, I was like, why not give all of this unsolicited advice to the world? So, here are some college tips from a college dropout. Now I want to make it so clear that I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I have more than 2 brain cells. I did so good in high school. Like, I worked so hard. And you know how they tell you that, like, you know, you work so hard to get those good grades and you'll get into good schools and you'll get all the good smart people scholarships and you'll be fine. That is a lie. That is such a lie. It is the biggest lie ever. The only real, like, smart people scholarship is, like, that national merit thing that you get from doing really well on your last PSAT, and only, like, 10 people get it in, like, the country. So, like, if you're not, like, crazy smart at, like, specifically the PSAT, then you're, like, you don't get anything. And the scholarships that you get, like, the smart people scholarships, are fully dependent on what major you're going in. Because, like, if you're like me and you're really smart, but then you go somewhere to get a degree in something artsy, there are no scholarships for that. The artsy scholarships are not dependent on whether or not you're smart. They're just sort of dependent on whether or not you have, like, good art that people want to care about, and even then, like, those are so few and far between that there are, like, no scholarships. It really sucks. The only smart people scholarships really matter when you're going into something like STEM related. And scholarships are also sort of just kind of like a scam, because there are the scholarships that you just sort of get sometimes from, like, already qualified them because of, like, the person you are, but, like, most scholarships that people tell you to, like, hunt for are ones you actually have to apply for, and that is so time consuming it ends up not being worth it. Because it's kind of just like playing the lottery, where you have to find which scholarship actually, like, fits your criteria and your major and, like, the school you're going to and your, like, demographic information. And then you have to spend the time, like, writing the essay and filling out all of the application. And then you might not even get the money. And that's so much time that you're investing into something that might not eventually pay off that it makes way more sense to just, like, get a job. All that time that you're investing into scholarships, you can just invest into getting a job. Because sure, like, 1 in every, like, 10 or 20 of those scholarships may give you, like, $500, but, like, you could also just work, like, a crazy 14-hour shift, like I'm going to do today, and just, like, make the same amount of money. My minimum wage is really high here, though. I know that there are some places where it's, like, $7, and that's really fucked up. I would argue you should still get a job, but then scholarships might be a bit more worth it in your area. But also, just keep in mind that you are investing a lot of time and energy into something that might not work out, which is also very disheartening, and a thing that you don't really realize until you're too far gone. Also, do not go to college just to go to college. That's just putting yourself in debt. Don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Also, don't go to college if you cannot afford it. There are many of us who cannot. I am in that very fun middle position where I don't have the family rich enough to just send me to college, but we're also not broke enough that we get all those fun federal benefits of being broke. So I just cannot afford college, so I had to drop out. It really sucks. But that is the situation we are living in. Like, there used to be a time where you could just go to college and then work full-time in the summer and then pay it all off, and we can't do that anymore. $50,000 is just, and you just cannot make that in 3 months. That's not how this works. If you cannot afford it, genuinely don't do it, because it does not make any sense. Because the main reason people want to go to college is to get a degree that will get them a job that later in life will make them more money, right? That is the main reason why people are like, go to college so you can get a better job. But if you're spending all of your time outside of college trying to pay for the degree that got you that job, it literally doesn't make any sense. It does not cancel each other out. It's not going to work that way. If you want to go to school just to like learn the things that they're teaching you there are way cheaper places to learn the exact same thing. I guarantee you, anything that you want to learn, you can learn at a cheaper price somewhere else than where you're learning. Like, any 4-year institution will have the exact same, like, level of class at, like, a community college. A community college, truly, honestly, the way to go. It will save you so much money, especially if you stay in state, get that good in-state tuition, don't live on campus. That saves you so much money. And you can learn basically the exact same thing, because if the credits will transfer to whatever 4-year you want to get your, like, bachelor's degree in, then there was no reason for you to take that class at that university in the first place. Doesn't make any sense. Because I just learned that the school that I was going to for acting, there is a theater, like, very close to where I live, that has some of the same teachers that teach the exact same classes that I was paying thousands of dollars for like a couple hundred. I was pissed. Why was I paying for all of that if I could just not pay for all that, you know? It's the idea that you want a degree. And like, if you're going into something that doesn't need a degree, like if to get a job you don't need a certain certification, do not get it. Do not get it. Don't get it just to like get the experience and learn whatever it is. Don't do it. If you don't have to get a degree, do not get a degree. It doesn't make any sense. Don't do it. It's stupid. Don't do it just to say that you did it. Don't do it because your parents are making you do it. Don't do it because you think it's cool. Don't do it. You're just putting yourself in debt when you do not have to. If you're going into something like STEM related or like medical, where like in order to get the job you need a degree and not just like the experience in the classes, then get a degree. Only do it if you have to. But if you were like me and you're doing something artsy, don't get a degree. Anything in music, anything in visual arts, performing arts, dance, writing, literally anything, do not do it. Do not do it. Anything you could get an apprenticeship for, do not get a degree. If you want to go to like trade school, those are usually affordable. But if you could instead get an apprenticeship somewhere, do that instead. If someone will pay you to work and also learn the thing you want to do, always do that. Work study was the best part about my college, and it's the only thing I'm still doing. Like, I dropped out, but I made sure to talk to all my work study, like, programmers and be like, can I still do this, like, as just a regular employee? And they were like, yes, because they want workers who already have the experience and the training and what they need. So, like, work study is the best way to go. Get an apprenticeship. And realize that there are a lot of degrees where you like you can't do this. Like there's like science degrees where you need to like have a lab to do testing and stuff. But there are very much ways to get degrees and take those classes that don't cost you an arm and a leg. Like everyone wants the notoriety of going to like a nice school, and everyone wants like the experience of going to like a cool out-of-state college that has a big name. But like when you're done with it, just make sure when you're making this decision, when you're done with it, will it matter? Will you care if you're going to be so in debt that you're like, maybe this wasn't worth it? Like, make sure you just don't regret it. Make sure you don't regret it. That's all I'm making sure people do. I do not regret my time because I was only at my school for a little bit of time. I got out pretty quickly. So I don't really regret my decision because I really wanted to do that thing and I followed my dream, and that was great. And like, you should always do that. But if you realize that your dream is not being in debt for the rest of your life, do not feel bad for dropping out. Like, always try to make sure that there are other financial options that you could have, but if it genuinely is just going to put you in debt for the rest of your life, like, don't do it. Just, like, don't do it. I'm giving you this okay to not do it, because so many people, like, feel bad about dropping out, because, like, my other friend, who was also in my program with me, she also dropped out. And people feel so bad about, like, not completing, like, the full year or, like, all 4 years. And, like, literally no one cares. You have to do what's best for you. And, like, my advice might not apply to everybody. But I want everybody to keep in mind the fact that like a degree does not guarantee you any job. And a lot of people with degrees sometimes don't even get a job in their field because they need to just get a job that pays off the debt of their degree. So like, if there's any way for you to just do what you want to do without having to put yourself in debt, always try that first. I will always recommend doing that first. If you're on your way to your college pathway, if you're like in high school, start applying for scholarships right now. I tried to do that. I genuinely fucking tried. When I started applying for colleges, I went to my like college advising thing at my high school, and they sucked so hard. They were fucking awful. It was College Access Now. I'm not here to put them on blast, but the guy who I talked to super sucked. I was like, I need to figure out a way to pay for college. And he was like, well, we can't do that until we get your financial aid package because we don't know how much you need to cover. And I'm like, I need to cover all of tuition. And he didn't get that because he didn't understand that like I was not going to get anything from this school, which I didn't. And then I was like, I just don't want to go to college and then be in debt at the end. And he was like, well, that's sort of unavoidable. And I was like, that's not acceptable. I can't just go to school and then just be in debt. That's just not a thing I'm going to accept, and that's not a thing I'm going to do. That guy sucked. And I was like, well, I just need you to send me scholarships because I need to just start applying for them now. And he sent me one email about scholarships, and that was it. He really, truly sucked. So if you have a system better than that, 100% use it. If you don't, make them work for you. You're going to high school for probably free. And if there are these services, you need to take as much advantage of them as possible. You need to ask every teacher that you have. You need to ask every resource that you have and get every scholarship you could possibly have and apply for them right now. Apply for them right now. If you don't have a job, get a job. You're not doing anything. For like so much of my high school, I was literally doing nothing when I could have been working and could have been making money. And that's something I very much regret. There was no reason for me to not be working. Especially since I was doing so much volunteering, I was just working for free. I should not have been working for free. Like, I get volunteering wonderful and great, and there are so many good services that you need to volunteer for because those places and communities and like nonprofits do not have the budgets to like pay people to do the good work that they're doing. But also, in this economy, you cannot work for free. We can't be doing that. Like, do the amount of volunteer hours that you need to like graduate, but after that, you need to stop. You need to just get a job. Get a job. Apply for scholarships, like, starting the second, because when you're in school and already stressed about the amount of assignments that you have and the work you have to do and the fact that you have to pay for college, you do not have the emotional labor and capacity to do more applications. Like, you're already stressed by the fact you have to, like, apply to these colleges, and then it's another level of stress to apply to scholarships. So, like, as soon as you're done with your college applications, or before you even start your college applications, apply to scholarships, apply to everyone that you can, or at least make a list of the ones that you're going to apply to, like ones that, like, have scholarship application dates, like, every year, and get those ready, figure out, like, your standard essay questions, put them all in one Word document, and just copy and paste them as you need them. Get people to proofread them. You need to, like, put every asset you have on the table to put yourself up for success. Because it's hard. It's hard. The system is so hard and it wants you to fail. And I want you to do so well. Dropping out is not failing. I want to make that so clear. Dropping out is not failing. Dropping out is realizing that you need to do what's best for you. Like, don't stick out 4 years just because you feel that you have to, even if you feel like this is not what's best for me, you know? Also, if you're currently in college and feel like you need to drop out, it's not easy. People around you will try to make you feel guilty for dropping out, but if you genuinely feel like it's the best decision for you, then that's what you need to do. You cannot worry about other people in the situation. Those people guilting you into staying are not paying your bills. So you need to worry about you. You need to worry about what's best for you. They're not supporting you in any way. You need to do what's best for you. Try talking to a teacher who is not in your major. That's what I found to be the most helpful. Because the ones in your major, not always, but I found, try to like manipulate you into staying because they're like, oh, I've seen so much good potential in you and you really should stay and it's going to be the best for you in this program and blah, 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 blah. But they're very much not unbiased parties and they really have a good stake in wanting people to stay in the program that they're getting paid to teach. So talk to good family members who have been through this. I was really persuaded by one of my family members who went to college, and she like put herself in a lot of debt for it, and she said that it was not worth it. So I'm like, okay, that's a really good argument. It's not worth it sometimes. Most people go to like a general 4-year where you have like some prerequisites that you have to take before you take like some general eds before you have to take like the prereqs for your major and stuff. If you have a general education course outside of like those major like classes and you have a teacher in there that you trust, talk to them. I 100% recommend talking to them. Like, talk to that really nice English teacher or that really cool history teacher about the struggles that you are having and ask them what they say. Because a lot of times they will have good perspective on the situation because they don't have any like stake in you being there or not being there because they teach a whole variety of students. So if you trust them, I would say talk to them. You can talk to an academic advisor if you'd like. I did. She wasn't that helpful. She tried very hard to be unbiased in a way that she was very just bland, so she wasn't that helpful. Could be a different situation. But I say very much to just decide what's best for you. I took a very long time to make my decision. I was feeling like I needed to leave halfway through last semester, and I didn't decide officially on leaving until the very beginning of this next semester. I really just took like a good 3 months and all of the time that I possibly could to make this decision. Also, really quick, I think it's very important to note the fact that most of the time that I spent off like thinking about this decision was between semesters. Like we had a month off in between semesters, and that's the time I really had the perspective and the distance to really think about my decision and whether or not I wanted to leave. And I highly recommend, if you can, to get some distance from your school, get away from all the people that like make you want to stay, so that you're able to think really objectively about this decision and not just wanting to stay because you're in it and you're enjoying it in the moment and like not thinking about it long term. Thinking about it over a break or in between semesters, it's going to be the most helpful time to think about this. So if you can get some distance, highly recommend you do that. Also, make sure if you are dropping out, check your refund policy for your tuition. It does not make any sense if you're in the last week of your semester to drop out because you're not going to get any of your money back. Just stick it out. Just stick it out. That's the only way, that's the only time I will recommend just staying in school if you want to drop out, and then just dropping out at the end of the semester. If you're not going to get a good portion of your money back, I would say more than 50% or more of your money back, then just stick it out. Because then you're not getting any positive from leaving. You know, I left in the first week because then I would get 100% refund. I would get all of my money back for the next semester, so I only paid for the last semester. But if your school has a weird thing where by the time you're dropping out you get like no money back, like just stay with it. It's gonna suck and you're gonna hate it, but I say find something outside of school that you like, stick with that, expand your horizons in other ways, and just stay with it. Because at the end of the day, if you're leaving for like monetary reasons and those things like matter to you, if you like care about how much money you're putting into the school and it's like a big deal to you, unlike it is for like other people whose like tuition's already paid for whatever reason, then 100% look up what your refund policy is. It's so important. Also, make sure that if you took out a bunch of loans, to talk with the financial aid office about your deferment and your grace period. Because if you're like me and you're going to a different school after, if you're like dropping out and then transferring to like a different school, then you need to make sure you talk to both financial aid offices and get your loans transferred so that they're still within deferment, because deferment only works for your loans if you're currently in school. So if you like drop out and then like take a full 6 months off that covers all of your grace period, then you have to start paying off those loans immediately. That's gonna fuck you. It's gonna hit you if you're not prepared for it. So either get immediately into another school so that you can continue to put off paying those loans, or get a job. If you don't already have one, get another job. Currently working 5 jobs. It sucks, but it's how you pay the bills, because it's going to start accruing interest, and once that starts, it just snowballs and you're never gonna pay that shit off. it's awful and it sucks. So make sure that you talk to your financial aid office, figure out how much you still have left to pay on those loans. Try to, if you can, if you have like some time, if like your full refund period is like more than 1 week, if you have like 1 or 2 weeks, just like, if you're already decided you're not gonna go and you're going to drop out, take those 2 weeks, don't go to class, just work, and try to pay off those loans as quickly as possible, because the second that you drop out is the second that that 6-month period starts. And if those 6 months end before you can get to another school and transfer those loans over, then you have to start paying back those loans and the interest starts accruing, and that's when you get fucked. So make sure to do that. Also make sure to take advantage of any free school resource you have before you leave. My school had a really good library database, and I took every file I could possibly want. I looked up every interest that I had, and I downloaded every file, and now I have them. Take all the knowledge that you can take. I know that my college experience is very much not the standard college experience and probably not applicable to a lot of people's situations, but I hope that if you're within a similar situation that I am, you can take pieces of what I have to say and like just keep it in the back of your mind. You know, make sure that you're thinking about this money situation very intelligently. Make sure you're planning all your steps out, because the money part and the debt is what's really going to kill you, and the interest racks up so quickly and it's awful. Make sure if you have a Parent Plus loan that you applied for deferment, because my loan provider, which you don't get to choose, which is already fucked up, my loan provider, it doesn't automatically put you into deferment for your Parent Plus loan, which is crazy. You have to like fill out a separate form and then like apply to get deferment. So make sure you're doing that, because if you have a Parent Plus loan and it's not in deferment, then you're already accruing interest, and that shit's awful. Also, federal and subsidized loans, fucking stupid. Don't get them. Doesn't make any sense. Because, well, it might for you. Always try to do what's best for you. I say things that only apply to me and that I don't really realize that other people might have different situations. But mine, like the amount that my unsubsidized loan was, it was so small that it didn't make any sense for me to get it, because it would have accrued so much interest so much faster than it helped me. So like, make sure that all the loans you're taking out is the very minimum you have to take out, and that it makes full sense to take out this amount of money with the interest that it's going to accrue. Try to get everything on deferment. If you're in school, there's no reason that needs to be accruing interest. And if you're in school and have a job outside of school, pay off that tuition loans right now. Pay it off right now. If you don't have any other bills and you just have extra money, you're not allowed to spend it on other things. No. You have to pay for your tuition right now, because the more you pay off while you're in school, while you're in deferment, the less you have to pay and the less that will accrue interest once you hit that 6-month grace period and leave school. It's the smartest decision. I hoped at least 1% of this was helpful. I hope any of you currently in college are having a good time, and if you're not, I hope you're able to leave in a quick and painless fashion. I have to go to work now, to go work a fun 14-hour shift, because that's the life of a college student just trying to pay off like so much debt. So make smart decisions. I believe in all of you. You're all gonna do great. Do good things with your life.